Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to be cooking garlic noodles. They're supposed to be super quick, but we'll see. Time us. Hello. So for those of you who are just joining us, it's probably every one of you who is just joining us. Today we are going to be cooking garlic noodles. Super easy garlic noodles at that. And this is good because one thing we always have in our cabinets and in our cupboards and in our pantries is spaghetti. I have random boxes of spaghetti because I never make like a full box. I always make like a half or 3/4. So I always have just like random pieces of spaghetti. So once you purchase these little sauces up here, you'll have those in your cabinet for forever. So you can always make this with those random pieces of spaghetti that you guys have. So we're gonna go over the ingredients list really quick. You need your oyster sauce, your fish sauce, your soy sauce, and your, okay. If anyone knows how to say this the right way, speak now, but I say it 6 different ways. So, gut instinct tells me to say Worcestershire. The fancy me wants to say Worcestershire. The hood in me wants to say Worcestershire. Look at it, Worcestershire. I mean, you just need a little bit of this. It's a struggle. You need some minced garlic. Some of y'all can use fresh garlic if you want. If you're a pro like that, if you're not, then you can go ahead and use that little jar one. Crushed red pepper, butter, green onions, Parmesan cheese, which I know some of you guys read the ingredients and was like, what? That's so weird. It's not weird in the end. I feel you, but it's not that weird on the end. And then this is my pre-mixed up sauce, so I didn't have to do all that measuring. First things first, you wanna get your big pot of water boiling. You can fill it up halfway, it doesn't matter. Also, I want you guys to make sure you have tongs handy because once we take our noodles out of here, we're gonna just tong them out. We're not actually gonna strain our noodles today because we want a lot of the noodle water in our other pan that we're gonna be frying in. All right, so my water is already starting to boil. I'm gonna give you guys time to set up. And in the meantime, get your pot, boil your water, and that's what we're gonna do. While this is boiling and heating up, we're gonna take a little bowl and we're gonna mix our ingredients together. And it's gonna be all 4 of these sauces in the increments that I told you. I believe it was 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Leah and Perrins. This is tricky, guys. This is a struggle. This, and then a little bit of this fish sauce. This fish sauce, see, now my tongue is all mixed up from trying to say that. All right, so fish sauce is strong. So I said 1 teaspoon, but when you're filling your teaspoon, if you use like a little, when you're using these, I want you to do your fish sauce like a little less than 1 teaspoon because this is strong and it does have a really strong fishy essence and aroma, so just a little bit. Like I said, if you purchase these, they were like $2 and $3 each at my grocery store, so once you have these ingredients, you're good and we can make a lot of different stuff with them. Whatever you guys are deciding to make as your protein side is totally fine with me. I made wings with mine yesterday. I wasn't gonna walk you through that because I left it open for you guys to be able to make whatever you want. You can make seafood with this, it's really great. A lot of people make lobster or crab when they make garlic noodles. That's if you're very fancy. I made little party wings with mine. You can make grilled chicken, grilled shrimp, whatever you'd like. It's totally up to you. Just do that on the side of what we're doing here. So while our water is boiling, it's great. Also this meal, well this could be a side, a meal, an entree, depending on, you know, if you're vegetarian, this could work for you. Well, we're gonna put our noodles in and let those start a while because they take a little bit, like about 12 minutes. So with our noodles, I'm making half of a box of spaghetti. If you guys watch my last little live that I did where we did the eggplant parmesan, you saw me break the noodles in half. For this, we're gonna keep them long. So you can just throw them in there, toss them in there. They'll start to bend and fit in there shortly. In the meantime, we're going to start our sauce. So the process of that is, it's pretty easy. And like I said, this cooks really quick. So if you miss a step, it's fine. What I want you to do first though, is I want you to mix your sauces and put them in some kind of dish and set it to the side. Cause I don't want you dumping them into the pan once we start it. I want them to already be in here and mixed. So the first thing we start with is put our butter into our pan, and that's 4 tablespoons of butter. Yeah, you know I love to cook with the butter, so that's easy. We'll turn the stove on, like medium to low heat, just to melt the butter. So yeah, basically we're gonna melt all this butter. We're gonna wait until it gets like fully melted and kinda, not brown, but like almost brown, like golden. And then we're gonna add our garlic, and we're gonna cook our garlic a little bit in there. If you have all your stuff and you're ready and you're prepared, you can make this in like 15 minutes. And it comes out great. All right, so they are fully submerged now. So now they just gotta cook. My butter is melting really, really nice. I'm going to just get my garlic ready. You wanna go a tablespoon, but like a little less than a tablespoon. Yeah, I'm doing, like there's room in there. So that's the one I'm gonna use. All right, our butter is ready for us to add the garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Now I'm gonna use these tongs for pretty much everything. They're rubber, silicone on the tip, so it's okay. So once our garlic has a nice color to it, we are going to add our sauce in. The brown stuff that we made earlier and we put in a bowl. I hope y'all all did that part. We're gonna add that in. And we're gonna give it a little mix. And then we're gonna turn it off, because that's just gonna cook, and we don't want it to cook too long because we're still gonna add our noodles to it a little bit later as soon as they're done. So check the noodles. Can you see it's a little bit brown in there. Still very firm. So we can chit chat now. This is off, remember your sauce is off. It's just chilling right now. We're gonna turn it back on right before we add our noodles. And by the way, this is really fun, you guys. I like doing this, so that's why I do it. I love cooking for my family, and you know, if you guys get to be a part of it, it's just a bonus. So also the reason why I chose to do this was because now and growing up, I always noticed that there was always like these half boxes of spaghetti in my house, in my pantry, in my cupboard, whatever. Growing up, my mom used to always have half boxes. I always have half boxes. So this is a quick way that once you buy these ingredients, which are very cheap, they're like $2 and $3 each, you can always make these, you can always whip these noodles up really, really quickly. And your kids will love them because they, you know, have like a little, they have an essence of lo mein, but not really. But yeah, you know, it's just a way to use up your half and unused pasta that you have laying around, which we all do. In the meantime, while we're doing that, if you have your green, if you got red like chili flakes, red pepper seasoning, whatever you want to call it, that's great. It's an extra little bonus. If you're cooking for your children, your kids probably do not want to have anything that's too spicy, you can add it on your own like portion. This is bomb. This was a bonus, so I put optional. I also put optional for the green onions. They're just gonna give it a little kick and a little color at the end for presentation purposes. All right, and I'm just gonna cut these really, really small without breaking them so that they stay like little rings. And that's enough. You don't need too many of those, just a little bit. Good thing about this recipe is you don't really contaminate your kitchen because nothing is raw about it. There's no raw foods. That the only thing that really came from an animal is maybe some stuff in those sauces, but also just the butter and the cheese. But it's okay. That doesn't really have too many like, you know, germs, like as if like we were cooking with raw meat or anything. And I know some of you guys are preparing sides at home, but I'm just making the noodles for right now. Yeah, let me see. Let me check it out and see what's going on with my pasta. The other day I threw it up against the wall. Today I'm just gonna bite it and see what's up. Yeah, see, it's a little too firm. Back in the pot it goes. If you're cooking for your family, it's okay that it goes back in the pot. Check y'all noodles. They're probably popping right now. I still want mine to be, I still want mine to cook a little bit longer. You can, this is probably warm. You could turn your sauce back on once your noodles start to cook at low, you know, low. Don't gotta be high. We ain't trying to do nothing crazy. Like, this is easy peasy. And again, the kids love it because it reminds them of lo mein. And if your kids are like my kids love Panda Express. Oh my gosh. Growing up on the East Coast, I didn't see none of those. We didn't have none of those near where I lived. But coming to LA, they're everywhere. My kids love it. And I'm a little, you know, I got my opinions. I might eat it from time to time, but for the most part, my kids will say Panda, yeah, anytime. Anytime I present them with a Panda option, they're gonna pick Panda. Panda over everything for them. And I'm like, all right. Y'all don't want Wendy's, a 4 for $4? Ugh. All right, so I'm gonna just trust now that my noodles are good because my sauce is bubbling. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I told you we're not gonna strain these. We're just gonna pick them up and we're gonna put them in here. Pick them up and we're gonna put them in here because some of the water, we need it. Make a mess in the meantime, but you shouldn't make too much of a mess. You should just be picking them up in big lumps, you know, big clumps. And they should be sizzling and doing all kind of stuff in there. And you're not gonna move them yet because we still gotta add the cheese. All right, that's off. Now, they're just kind of sitting in there chilling with the sauce bubbling around them. Before I mix it all up, I'm gonna add the cheese in. That was 1/4 of a cup. And now I'm gonna take my tongs and I'm gonna just move it all around. Mix it all up. They start turning brown, which is really nice, which is what we want. Get it around the edges. See, they're kind of popping now, huh? I told you. Okay, now if your noodles are too dry, which mine are not, they're perfect. I'm gonna turn them off. Mine are actually really good. If your noodles are too dry and feeling like they're like sticking together, you can add a little bit more of your pasta water in there. You can take like a little spoon and just spoon some in there. But yeah, they should be nice and brown and golden like that. So that is how they go. And then pick them up and I try to aim for the middle of the plate, even though they end up going everywhere. See, like that. I'm gonna pick them up, place them down, and your red chili flakes. If you like it spicy, if you don't, it's okay. A little bit of your onions, and it's lit. I'm about to come over there and show y'all. And voila. I made wings with mine yesterday. Put a lid on these so that they don't dry out. But you see what I mean? How really easy that was, like to make like something really gourmet. And like I said, if you purchase those ingredients, those can live in your cabinet for at least a good year, depending on the expiration date. And you can make this a few times a year with those. So like a little bit goes a long way. And like I said, we always have leftover pasta. And the good thing about this is it doesn't have to be spaghetti noodles. Any pasta will work for this. You can use like egg noodles. A lot of people use, you can use ramen. You could literally open up a pack of ramen and hook them up with those sauces. You can use linguine, like you can get it popping and it will all taste great. And again, your kids will love it and it's good. can add meat to it. You can add meat on the side or chicken or fish on the side. You can mix it in. However you want to do it, it's your own little twist. But this is a great vegetarian option for those who are not trying to eat any type of meat or animal or whatever. Will it come out this, oh, someone says, will it come out the same with whole wheat noodles? You know, I don't know. Whole wheat noodles, they're always like a little, every time I've tried to make them, I've either made them too firm or too mushy, so I don't really know. I've also made like gluten-free pasta before, and I'm not a fan. So it's to each his own. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it. We're finished today. Man, it was such an easy day. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go, y'all. So thanks for joining me. It's been real. All right, well, I hope you guys loved it, and I can't wait for your comments below and to hear if your kids and your family loved it. Don't forget to subscribe.